Let's take a look at how you can use the database Gale in Context Opposing Viewpoints to look for topic ideas for a persuasive essay or speech. The reason that this database is especially helpful for these types of topics is because it is geared around controversial issues. Obviously, if you're trying to persuade someone to agree with your argument, it makes sense that the topic you're discussing is something that not everyone would automatically agree with, a topic where there is some controversy. So first thing we want to look at is how do we get to this database? You can see up in the top left corner, it says Michigan E-Library. So this is actually a database that we access through the Michigan E-Library. If we go to Wired and go to the Library Resources tab, we'll find our alphabetized link. And since this database is in the Michigan E-Library, that's what we're looking for instead of the name of the database. So we'll scroll down to Michigan E-Library, and this will take us to their databases page, which they call e-resources. If we scroll down a little bit from there, we'll see that there is an alphabetical shortcut. So since we know the database we're looking for starts with Gale in Context, we can click on G and again scroll just a little bit, and we find Gale in Context Opposing Viewpoints. So we'll go back to where we started on the home page for this database. And to some of you, this may look familiar. All of the Gale in Context databases use the same interface. So the only thing that really changes is the focus. Some of you may have used Gale in Context College for some informative topics in the past. So if that is the case, this will work in a very similar way for you. Just like in the college one, we have, in this case, browse issues. In Gale in Context College, it says topics, but it's the same thing. You could click here, go right to a list of possible topics for your paper. You also can scroll down and find that there are some different subject categories for these issues. So if one of these categories looked interesting to you, you could click to see all of the possible topics or issues within that category. But if you don't want to commit yourself to a specific subject area right from the beginning, you can leave your options a little bit more. Here's another place on the page to click to see all of the issues and just browse the list. It's just hard sometimes to come up with a topic idea off the top of your head. It can be a little bit easier to have something in front of you that you can skim through and just see if anything jumps out at you, looks interesting, looks like a possibility. So as we are looking through this, if we see something that looks interesting, let's say Green New Deal, click on that. It's going to open up that topic or issues page. And up at the very top, we have an overview. We'll click to read more, so it opens up the whole overview. And this is going to give you some good background information on your topic. First of all, to help you decide if this is, in fact, a topic you want to choose. And then also to just get you a little bit more informed about the topic before you then move to the next step of starting to look for sources. This can also help you develop your thesis, which, again, you really kind of want to do before you start digging too deep into looking for your sources. So we have this background information, and also tucked in here, you'll see there are some pros and cons. So that starts giving you an idea of arguments that you might be able to use and counter arguments to consider. As we scroll down more, we also have some critical thinking questions, which again can be helpful in planning out your research. So this is a great way to look for some possible topics, as I said, for either a persuasive essay or speech. We do have some other databases that are equally useful for this, and you will find that we have other videos pertaining to using those for this purpose too. You'll also find that we have videos that will explain how to really start looking for those sources within these databases and how to use some of the tools.